Hello and welcome to this Liverpool news roundup here on Anfield Agenda. My name is Conor and I'm going to take you through all of the latest Liverpool news, including links with Antoine Semenyo for January, a Netherlands midfielder being linked with the club. We also have a quote from Alexander Isak on his recent injury struggles, and a little bit around Federico Chiesa's future at the club. So please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new, and let's jump straight into the news. Now, for those of you who have seen these videos before, you may be noticing the fact that I do now in fact have a signed Dominic Szoboszlai shirt behind me, which, good timing, bad timing. Like, Ireland obviously knocked Hungary out of the World Cup yesterday. Ireland are now into the playoffs after a dramatic victory. So look, it's a bit awkward, that one this morning. I might have a solution. Let me see if this works. Oh, there we go. That could work. That could work. Jokes aside, obviously I am delighted. As an Irishman, we don't really get much good news and good vibes around football in the last couple of years, so to see us pull off that victory yesterday was just absolutely incredible. Like, Troy Parrott, what a player. Like, 5 goals in 2 games against Hungary away from home and against Portugal. That's just absolutely insane, and I'm absolutely buzzing. But obviously commiserations to Dominic and Milos Kerkez as well for getting knocked out. But look, I have to be happy. I'm not going to rub it in on them, but I can't help but smile. I can't pretend to be sad. Like, obviously I would rather Liverpool players do well and get into these competitions and stuff, but as an Irishman I have to be happy, don't I? Let's get on with the news anyway, shall we? So we'll start off with Antoine Semenyo, and we have a report here from the Liverpool Echo who say, with Mohamed Salah due to play for Egypt at the African Cup of Nations in December and January, Liverpool are increasingly keen on a move for Antoine Semenyo, who would also be the long-term successor to Salah. Reminder as well that Antoine Semenyo plays for Ghana, whose country fails to qualify for AFCON. This could be one we see happen. Like, Liverpool have been linked with Semenyo for some time now. The links really do seem to have been heating up lately, and it could make sense ultimately to bring him in January if a deal is to be done, especially when we see the likes of Man United and Spurs and Arsenal and other teams sniffing around him. There's some talk of teams coming in for him in January, and it's not out of the realms of possibility that we do make a move in January. Like it says there, like, he could be the Salah long-term successor, and what better time to start to build him into the team than now when Salah will be away for AFCON. And we could do with more options up front anyway, in all honesty. Like, I know we spent stupid money in the summer, but we are short an option or two up front. But even if you think we're not really short of an option, we do have a report here as well about Napoli's interest in Federico Chiesa. It says, back in Italy, interest remains strong. Roma and AC Milan have been mentioned previously, but Napoli have emerged as the most concrete suitors. With Kevin De Bruyne facing further injury issues, Napoli's hierarchy see Chiesa as a player who can reinforce their attack and provide renewed wit and creativity in their bid to retain the Serie A title. SNAI reports that Napoli president Aurelio De Laurentiis is preparing to sanction an €18 million move for the winger in January. That fee could offer Liverpool both financial flexibility and a means of rebalancing the squad, particularly with a new centre-back now seen as a priority for sporting director Richard Hughes. Now, the centre-back point obviously is completely separate to this conversation, but could we see Federico Chiesa move off to Napoli in January and then we move for Antoine Semenyo? Like, there is a lot of sense in that, particularly if Arne Slot doesn't really fancy Federico Chiesa. Like, we all love him obviously, but the manager for some reason doesn't really want to play him, doesn't really see him fitting into this system. Look, he's seeing something we're not, obviously. Like, he's seeing something he doesn't like. So maybe we do see Semenyo come in, Chiesa leave. Maybe we see Semenyo come in and Chiesa stays. Like, I personally would prefer that. I think we need one more option up front at least. So I would be more than happy to keep Chiesa alongside Semenyo. But I could definitely see a possibility where Chiesa gets shipped off to Napoli. We go and get Semenyo in, and then we build the attack around these players for the next couple of years. I could definitely see that happening. Next up, we have a link with a young Dutch midfielder. So Team Talk have said Liverpool are planning a serious bid for AZ Alkmaar. AZ Alkmaar? I'm sure there's another player who plays for AZ Alkmaar who's quite decent. Liverpool are planning a serious bid for AZ Alkmaar's 19-year-old Netherlands midfielder Kees Smit. Arne Slot has approved a transfer for Smit, whose playing style has been compared to Barcelona midfielder Pedri. Slot managed AZ in 2020, with Smith coming through the youth ranks at the time, and that is coming from Team Talk. And a bit more on that report then we have, with 12 goals and 7 assists across all competitions in 2025, Smith has placed himself firmly on the radar of Europe's biggest clubs. Borussia Dortmund, Newcastle, Barcelona and Real Madrid have all been linked, and the latest update adds Liverpool to that growing list. He offers a blend of technical maturity and attacking instinct that is rare at his age. Netherlands manager Ronald Koeman even compared him to Pedri, a remark that pushes the conversation around Smith into a higher tier. It is clear that he is not being viewed as a long-term project, but as someone capable of influencing a senior squad relatively quickly. Reports say that Arne Slot has admired Smith since his early days at AZ Alkmaar, noting that the Liverpool manager was charmed by him during his spell at the club. Working within the AZ system from 2017 to 2020, Slot would have seen Smith's development close up and formed a detailed picture of his qualities. So, look, it could make sense. Like, he's a young kid, he's playing very well. It's a player Arne Slot is familiar with. The attacking minded midfielders, that kind of role is not really something Liverpool desperately need at the minute. But look, if he's 19 years old, if he's available at a decent fee and Arne Slot believes that he could get to that level to the very top, then look, maybe he comes in and he's some sort of Alexis McAllister replacement long term, or possibly even further forward just as an option as well. So look, wouldn't be against it at all if the club thinks he's worth it. If Arne Slot really wants him, then fair enough, I'll back the signing. If anyone does watch the Dutch League and wants to let us know how good he is, like what kind of a player he is, what level of talent you believe he is, then please do in the comments below, because exciting to see links with young up and coming talents, and if you're being compared to Pedri, then you're obviously doing something right. Next up then, Alexander Isak was speaking about his recent injuries, and he had this to say: "It hasn't been optimal, but when I'm on the field I don't give myself any excuses. I always want to play my game and perform. Now I'm back and I'm positive. There's not much that's easy in football, but with experience you learn to deal with things." And look, it is good to see him back on the pitch. I think he played about half an hour the other night for Sweden in a 4-1 loss against Switzerland, but look, that ruled Sweden out of the World Cup, and look, there was no point in him going anyway. Like, there's a certain team in green who's going to win it all anyway, so look, it's probably good for him not to get there and just have more heartbreak, really. But in all seriousness, it is good to see Isak back on the pitch. He was on the bench for us against Man City, of course, but like, there was no point really risking him when the game was dead and buried. So good to see him back on the pitch. I'm sure he will start to get minutes again for Liverpool. Maybe, I don't think he's going to start against Nottingham Forest on Saturday, but I'm sure he will get a few minutes at least and start to build up that fitness again, because it's just been such a setback for him, hasn't it? Because like, he came through this mini preseason, got up to full level fitness according to Arne Slot, and then just instantly got injured again. So look, not ideal. Like he said, I'm sure he won't have it as an excuse. The mentality of the man, like, he's going to want to get back on the pitch as quick as possible. Going to want to get back up to. He's going to want to get back up to speed as quick as possible as well. So look, I'm sure we will see him firing in goals again. But yeah, just we hope this isn't a long term thing. Hopefully he does start to just build up that fitness, because he does seem to just pick up injuries a lot as well. So hopefully we can kind of stamp that out of his game, get him fit and firing, and he will be an absolute superstar at Liverpool. I've absolutely no doubt about that long term. That's all for me this morning anyway. If you have enjoyed the video, please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new. Craig will be back in the afternoon and then live again this evening as usual. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon.